I do slideshows, I do script pages and monologue pages, but that's only for theater class. Versus Wendy, who does power activities, who does a worksheet or a couple of problems that are going to address a specific formula, function. So this is where the nuance in your classes are going to come into play, all right? Anything that I am going to potentially distribute out to all of my students within this class, the first thing that I'm going to do is create a subsection within the content library, okay? So when you go to your team, you're gonna access the team, you're gonna go to Class Notebook up at the top, all right? And when you click Class Notebook, it'll of course take you to the welcome page, okay? If you have a welcome page. And then when you go to the welcome page, you will click this arrow up at the top. It says Open Navigation Panel, okay? Which will then open the entire navigational panel that shows the two biggest things, the sections and the pages, okay? So for journals, bell ringers, anything, slideshows, videos, you can create a subsection in content library for each one, all right? So your content library may have a lot of subsections. That's okay. For me, I like that I differentiate between a journal and a script page, or a bell ringer and a homework journal entry, okay? If you have 40 subsections, guess what? That's only for you to be organized within yourself, okay? So that's my personal opinion, all right? But if you want to put together like bell ringers / journal entries / and make it all one subsection, do that. That's your decision as the teacher, okay? So in the content library, let's say I want to go ahead and put in a subsection for journal entries, okay? You will go ahead, click on Content Library, and click on one of the subsections that you've already created, okay? This just lets Notebook know that you're wanting to create a subsection within the content library, so that way it doesn't post it anywhere else, all right? You'll click on plus section down here at the bottom, okay? And then put the name of something, like I'm gonna put journal entries, okay?
You can't spell.
I can't spell nothing, thank you. It's Friday.
Notphing.
I put a W. There's no W in journal entries, gosh. All right, so now when I hit OK, journal entries pops up as a subsection within the content library, okay? So now when you create a subsection, it will automatically generate a page, okay? Title the page whatever it is you want. If you are going to do a journal entry next Monday, then you may want to title it 8/17/2020, okay? Or title it journal entry 8/17/2020, bell ringer 8/17/2020, whatever it is that you want to do, okay? And then create. You can type in the page itself. This is what I've done with my virtual kids all this week with their assignments. I've just went in, created a text box, and anything that I type is in red, so that way they understand that the teacher is who put that. Anything they put is in black, just like a normal worksheet, just like a normal journal entry. Their ink, their color is black, and I've made sure to tell them, type in black ink, just like you would on a piece of paper, okay? So whenever you make your assignment, so if I say, please describe the 3 different types of performances within Hamilton, all right, or whatever, okay? Put your instructions, and like I said, once you type out all your instructions, you can highlight it, come up here to the top, put it in red. I like to make it in the most clearest font that I possibly can. I put it big font, so that way the kids know, do this, okay? especially when it comes to minimum of 8 complete, well thought out sentences. Did that happen this week? I'm gonna move forward. Okay, so you put your instructions, you put whatever content it is, all right? After you get done creating your page, and again, the wonderful thing about this is that it automatically saves any adjustment that you make, all right? So you do not have to click File, Save As so many times, all right? And another beautiful thing that I recognized this week that it will do is that it will tell you, all right, this little cloud icon with the check mark, that lets you know all of your changes have been saved. But if it's running into an internal issue, it will give you a little bit of a shout out and say, cannot save the current changes because of an internal issue. Please refresh and try again. And another thing it will do is that any edits that you are making that it's not saving, it will highlight it in red and tell you these changes are not going to be saved, okay? So that's just a disclaimer, a little tidbit information. But once you have this little icon up in the top right-hand corner, everything has been saved and you're good to go, okay? So once that has happened, you're gonna come back.
Wait. How do the kids type on this now?
We're getting there.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
It's okay, Cindy, it's okay. So, now we've got this created, all right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute this page from this section to my in-class learners, okay? So I'm gonna go over, make sure that the page that you're wanting to distribute before you click anything else is highlighted, all right? I'm gonna come over to Class Notebook, all right, up here in the top. And the first option is Distribute Page, all right? You're gonna click on that, and all of these options pop up, all right? I'm going to click on Individual Distribution, okay? Because I only want it to go to my in-class people. I do not want it to go to my virtual learners as of right now, okay? Now, if you're wanting to go ahead and distribute it all to every single student within the class, then you'll just type Distribute Page, okay? So this is a class where all of my kids are in person. So I'm just gonna go ahead and distribute it all to my kids, okay? So you would just click Distribute Page, and then you choose the spot that you want to distribute it to. So I more than likely would distribute it to Class Notes.
So
Okay?
those are the 4 subsections he has for each kid.
Yeah, now I
Yes.
got that part. I did
Okay.
get that set up.
Okay, awesome. Now,
And I know how to create assignments, but I wasn't sure on the distribution.
yes. So you just distribute, click the spot that you want it to go to, and it will say, select the student section where you want to distribute 8/17/2020 or journal entry, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You would click Class Notes and you would hit Distribute, all right? It will then filter. Okay, I'm not gonna do that because I don't want my kids thinking that they have an assignment. That is gonna be 2.
Oh, go
All right.
for it. Come on.
But you'll hit Distribute. It will cycle through. It will tell you when it is complete, all right? And then when it's complete, every single student will then, in their class notes, have a page that is titled 8/17/2020. And now they can go in and edit that journal or that bell ringer, okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Before we get asked any questions, all right? And again, if you don't want to distribute it to everybody, let's say this is a class that I have, you know, some virtual, some in class, all right? You would do distribute page, individual distribution,
If you're gonna do like,
and then
start
select